You smile? You smile at the camera? Aloha and welcome to Beachwalks with Rocks. Today is show number 78 and you can find us at beachwalks.tv. So I've been thinking today about the difference between compromise and negotiation. And I find it's one of those great topics for me because really the energy of it is in the very subtle distinction between the two. And in my mind, I think of compromise as a situation where either both people have to give up something or where one person has to give up something in favor of the other person. And in any case, regardless of which of those two it is, it usually seems to result from a sense that both people, or one person at least, doesn't feel like they have enough power in the situation to really get what they want. And the corollary, or the opposite, or the sidebar, the different approach is to negotiate when there are differences. And in my mind, negotiation is something that happens between two peers. And both people come to the situation knowing who they are, what they want, what they don't want, or at least are willing to discover that in the process of the negotiation. And this is something that I practice a lot in my relationships. I tend to be historically the type that would compromise too much and give up too much for the sake of the peace or for the sake of moving on and getting to the next step. But at the same time, then I would find that I wouldn't be very happy at some point down the road because I realized I really didn't speak up for what I wanted. So now that I have enough skin in the game of my life, I feel much more confident about discovering who I am, what I want, and asking for that. And being able to choose the kind of relationships that I'm in based on how willing the other people are to negotiate with me. So that doesn't mean that I always want to have my way. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that I know what I am willing to negotiate on, what are my must-haves, and what are my, I'd like to have that, but I can live without that. And for me, that's a very different energy than compromise, which is more, well, if I have to, I'll give this up. And, well, I'll quit this if you'll quit that. And that sort of quid pro quo, I don't particularly like. I would much rather say, I really want this. These three things don't mean much to me. What do you think? And then hear the other person's point of view. And with any luck, that other person says, oh, well, those three things, I can handle that. That's no big deal. The only thing I want out of it really is this. Can I get this? And I say, well, sure. That one doesn't bother me. And lo and behold, when we function as peers, we can come up with a resolution without a whole lot of difficulty. That, for me, is a win-win situation. And I love the times now because the times right now are so much more empowering to people, understanding their authentic sense of power and that they don't have to cough up to someone who might be dangling out $1 here or $1 there, or the promise of happiness in the future if you'll just do this now. So many people, and I find the younger the person, the more they buy into this, are willing to say, well, no. I'd rather be poor, or I'd rather be alone, or I'd rather be struggling than to have the poverty and the loneliness and the effort that is accompanied by selling oneself out. And they are distinctly different types of poverty in those two situations, in my mind. So, ramble, kind of a heavy topic for today. Lexi, as you can see, has been very patient, ready to go for her ball chasing on the beach. So let me know what you think about compromise and negotiation and what tactics you use to feel good going in and coming out. And whether you find it harder in your personal relationships or in your business relationships. I'm at a stage in my life where I feel really comfortable doing it in personal relationships, but I'm still working on it in my professional relationships because I don't always know who I'm dealing with because, you know, energy discrepancies, people sometimes are not who they really present themselves as. But that can be fun too. So you can Skype at Roxanne Darling, or you can phone at 949-544-1456. Aloha and ahui ho!